Before we start, this episode will contain, I repeat, will contain spoiler warning, spoiler alert for Stranger Things. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. But I haven't watched the first the plays. Probably never will. So that's safe. Yeah, but spoiler alert for all season of Stranger Things, because that's our main topic, and hopefully we stay on topic this episode, because I'm prone to not staying on topic. If you've ever listened to me before, you would know. But something I just wanted to say before we talk about Stranger Things. So ever since Beesmas came out in Bee Swarm Simulator, I've been on it nonstop, and I think it's getting to an unhealthy point. So one day, like a few days ago, I was playing with my friends. Also, all my friends are also on Bee Swarm, so that encourages me to play more Bee Swarm, and I'm already playing too much Bee Swarm to begin with. So once it gets to the point, so maybe a few hours of Bee Swarm a day might be a bit of a clear warning that you need to stop and maybe think, maybe spending 5 hours on the screen isn't healthy, but it's break, so there's really nothing I can do about that, and I'm constantly fighting a war against my mind every day, and I'm losing the battle. So when it gets to the point where one day it just seems that you've been playing Bee Swarm for 9 hours, and also that day you try to sleep at like 12 and all you can hear is Bee Swarm. When you close your eyelids, all you see is Bee Swarm. And even though you're not playing Bee Swarm, you hear fucking Bee Swarm noises. And in your dreams, there's Bee Swarm. So that might be a bad sign. But am I doing anything about it? No. In fact, I'm playing more Bee Swarm, and all my friends we're having daily Bee Swarm sessions, which is actually crazy because the amount of screen time that I've had these last 2 weeks, it's actually it's so embarrassing. Y'all wouldn't even believe it. I looked at RoPro, and it said that in the past week I've been I could be spending my time on anything else, and in the past week I've been spending 21 and a half hours on Bee Swarm Simulator. So is that a good will that convince me to stop? No, I'm still playing. I'm hooked really hard. I shouldn't have come back to Bee Swarm. Like, I'm not even sure how it happened, but awesome. Water just spilled on my phone screen, and it's dripping from my mouth, but anyways. So, as of recording, since I'm recording this, both volumes of Stranger Things have come out, and it's still 2025, by the way, but the last episode of Stranger Things has come out by now. So I haven't seen the last episode of Stranger Things. What I have seen is the first 7 episodes of the last season, and so far everyone has been clowning it. Everyone has been shitting it, which is so like not expected. Like, it was like everyone, like Netflix and Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers were hyping this up, and not only did it flop in quality, it also flopped in popularity. Big time low for Stranger Things fans. So let's deconstruct and analyze why is everyone hating on Stranger Things 5. It seemed fine for the last 4 seasons. Everything seemed fine with the fans, and everyone was like, "Yay, we love Stranger Things." But this time around, the tables have turned, and now everyone is against the creators of Stranger Things and the actors and the writers and basically everything. So let's unpack this. When I first watched Volume 1, I did feel something a bit off. And even before, like, Stranger Things 5 came out, like, I see the posters and all the promotional media, and they seem so lackluster. It's like the posters for Season 5, they're literally just a pitch black background. The actor, the number 5 in red, and that's it. That's literally it. I'm not even joking. And it's sad because I really felt like, oh, maybe Stranger Things 5 is gonna disappoint us all. Maybe it's gonna not be as good as I'd hope it to be. And look at us now. It's horrible. Well, not horrible. I need water. I have been sick for the past few days, but am I doing anything to change it? Am I fixing my sleep schedule? No, I'm not. Anyways, when I first saw Stranger Things 5, I did feel something was quite off. Starting with the opening scene where Robin is like recapping everything that happened so far, and it just seemed like, I don't know, it feels a bit forced. And like they're like, oh, I guess. Also, what really confused me is how, like, in the last season, in season 4, like, Vecna opened these gates and the world split in 4 with his like ritualistic sacrifices, and all these like these gates opened, and then in season 5 the military is like, oh, let's seal this with like metal. Let's seal this with like, how do they seal the gate with like metal? That's something I don't get. Like, I feel like that's a bit too convenient. Also, that completely eradicates any purpose that season 4 had. Because the whole like objective that Vecna was trying to get to was to open the 4 gates, and then season 5 just seals them off like it's nothing. So I'm not even sure how that happened, but I've seen Stranger Things. Let me take a hit of his water. Also, I'll be burping a lot because I just ate. There's a gathering downstairs, but right now I feel like I'd rather starve and die instead of socializing, so that's what I'm doing right now. Also, there's food downstairs. It's really tempting to go downstairs, but I don't feel like socializing right now. So, also, I did eat Peking duck today with my friends. It was so good. Loved that. I do remember, the only thing I remember from Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 is that Will gets powers, but for some reason in Volume 2, do they do anything to, like, wait, they do. No, because people were like, oh, no one's doing, like, this criticism, a lot of criticisms for Stranger Things 5 it's just so dumb. Like, they criticize something, and then that happens in the show, and they're like, oh, this is stupid. Like, what do you mean? A big example of that is, okay, so people online have been like, oh, everything is so convenient for the characters because all this plot armor, like blah 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 blah, and then they just continue. Like, that's one of the biggest criticisms, the convenience. Like, for example, Nancy and Jonathan being alive through all that goop, which I'll get to that in a second. I have more to say about that scene, but they will just the criticisms for Stranger Things mainly focus around the plot armor and convenience. People hate that because it feels less real, I think, and I see where they're coming from. But another thing is that when Holly escaped Vecna's dream world, when Max and Holly escaped Vecna's dream world, and then Holly almost escaped, but Vecna got her and she went back. People were like, "What? Then what was this all for?" What do you mean? That wasn't convenient for them. And then y'all like continue bickering about how everything is so convenient for the cast, but that wasn't convenient. There are a lot of counter arguments around this sort of debate. I can't believe that Stranger Things politics. I can't believe how annoying Stranger Things politics is. Like, Ito politics were annoying enough. Like, there truly does have to be politics for everything. And it gets to the point where I, like, blank out when someone is, like, debating, was Stranger Things 5 really worth watching? And I'm like, yes, I know it wasn't good. I know it didn't live up to anyone's expectations, I'm pretty sure, but to be honest, I'm just watching Stranger Things just to finish it at this point. Like, I truly was having fun with the show. Stranger Things 1 to 4, yes, I liked all the seasons. They were really good. And then Stranger Things 5 comes along and ruins everything like the fun police. Like fucking party pooper. Like, it ruined my show. It's horrible. Like, I do find it a bit comedic. This whole situation, I do find some humor in it. Yes, don't get me wrong. I feel horrible. I feel so sad that this amazing show has been ruined because of this season, and I can't do anything about it. It's so fucking sad. Also, I've been coughing out phlegm. If you guys want me to do ASMR, I can do coughing out up phlegm ASMR, and I think you guys would really like that. I think you guys heard that. It felt. I'm pretty sure. I'll make sure that it sounds juicy. But I do find some humor in the whole situation. Let me explain. So, this whole thing kind of escalated. Like, it's the same thing about how, like, Roblox CEO situation, how he messed up big time and everyone is criticizing him. And I do think that it is a bit funny how they messed up and everyone is clowning them and they can't do anything about it. So they just have to sit there and take in the consequences of their actions. And that's exactly what's happening. The writers, they truly did, like, I feel like the writers just used AI. A lot of other people mentioned this, but this season's plot line felt like AI generated. Like the whole Abyss thing about the Upside Down, like how it's just a bridge, that really does feel ChatGPT a bit. And that the AI feeling doesn't just impact the writing, because, like, if you look at how the show looks right now, like, The CGI ruins everything, I swear. So, first of all, Will's child version of himself looks AI generated. Second of all, the upside down, is it just me or the upside down looks so like AI generated compared to like season 1. Vecna's hive in the abyss looks AI generated. Like one of the cutscenes, one of the scenes in like when Holly escapes, it literally looks like something from the Mimic. And I know the Mimic is really impressive for the Roblox game. I'm just saying it looks like the Mimic in a bad way. The Mimic looks visually striking. This in Stranger Things, it does not match and it looks uncanny. It looks like I don't. Is it just me or there's like something wrong about the visuals this season? Everything looks too like grand and blockbuster and CGI. Like, for example, the scene where Mike just leads the children, while in the Max Z, he leads them nowhere. By the way, it looks like a video game. Like, I don't know. It just looks too perfect to the point where it looks uncanny. And I don't like that. I don't like seeing a show and it looks like Sora generated this. Horrible. That is not a vibe. I need water. Also, I'm so locked out recently. Thinking of doing a podcast episode where I'm just high on caffeine. That would be fun and also scary to like listen to, but I do. I've been maybe I will like get and like I've never tried an energy drink before. To be honest, I'm still quite young, but I do want to try it. I feel like I'm around the age where I can try like a sip of an energy drink. I'm scared about what a whole can will do to me. Like, okay, so personally, I personally enjoyed volume 2 of season 5 more than volume 1. I feel like watching it with someone else, like I watched it with one of my family members, I feel like watching it with someone else really helps you feel more excited. Because like you're sharing the excitement. For like when Max and Holly were just yapping with each other instead of, I don't know, maybe going through the portal so that you can see your boyfriend again, Max. Like me and my family member that I was watching it with, like we truly like like run. Also, why was Max and Holly literally like strutting? They were not. It looked like they did not want to go back. Like, why were they walking to the portal? Why are they doing a little DTI catwalk? Like, buddy, this is not the. I forgot what it's called. This is not the Met Gala. You're not showing off your outfit. Why was Max literally strutting to the portal? And also, let me just say, for the criticisms that say there's too much attention on Holly, what do you mean there's too much attention on Holly? It's a new season with new characters. And to be honest, I really, really liked Holly, like, as a character. I liked, it's so hard to articulate your words when you're under brain fog. I do notice that she looks a lot older than, I don't know, 9 years old, which is what she's apparently supposed to be. But if we just ignore that, then I really like Holly as a character. I like how Max and Holly it really does seem like they have this dynamic with each other, this real human dynamic. Ew, the tissue filled with my phlegm is so fucking wet. Like, and also you must be wondering, where's your trash can? It's outside the room and I'm too scared to go out there. Oh no, not scared. I'm just too lazy. They're really good actors, and saying Holly doesn't deserve all that like screen time, I feel like that kind of disrespects the actors. Don't get me wrong. I feel like we should clown on some actors this season. Have you guys seen 11 smile at all this season? Why does Millie Bobby Brown? She cannot move a single muscle on her face. She is just... like, at this point, Mike and 11 don't feel like lovers anymore. They just feel like friends who annoy each other. That goes along with Hopper and Joyce. Like, they do not feel like people who would go to Enzo's together. They feel like grown adults who would, like, yell at each other. They seem like... I don't know, like, there's no romantic tension in this season, I'd say, other than Lumax and Nancy and Jonathan. And I may be missing a few, but that's about it. Which is kind of sad. Like, I see why people might not like the acting this season. It truly is it feels quite off from how good it was in season 4, 3, 2, and 1. Like, I feel like take a little glance at how the actors look in season 5. They seem like they are done with the show. They seem like they're just doing it to do it. There's no heart in it. There's no passion in it. Like, Mike does not seem like the Mike in season 1, for example. All 4 of the boys except Dustin, okay? Dustin is still a good actor. I will say that. Really good actors. I think they really did Steve and Dustin's little arc really beautifully together. I think I almost cried when Dustin and Steve hugged. Like, that was so beautiful. I feel like the only thing the Duffer Brothers do good is emotional scenes and cliffhangers. Those are the only things the Duffer Brothers get right. Everything else, they will make an embarrassment of themselves. How do they sell this so bad? How do they make this grand season so horrible? Like, everyone hates it. It's actually crazy. What else? Okay, Millie Bobby Brown. She said it herself. She just wanted the show to be over, I'm pretty sure, like, in an interview. That shows a lot through her face here. But, Kali. I feel like the actor for Kali was, like, she was, like, called to be here, and she just didn't want to be, but they're, like, forcing her, so she had to. Like, no one had emotion this season. I feel like I'd prefer Punk 11 over season 5 11. It's actually sad to see. But also fun to see everyone clown on season 5. Like, I feel like they truly deserve all the criticisms. Not the good actors, but, like, the people who sold, like, all the writers and stuff. Also, let me say for the record, I'm pretty sure there are some good writers in Stranger Things. I think Netflix kind of ruined the Stranger Things last season because apparently Netflix cut, like, 2 hours of footage, which is so stupid. I hate Netflix so much. Which it's kind of sad how these disgusting corporations are ruining everything. And I'm not even joking when I'm saying that. Also, apparently, Netflix asked the Duffer Brothers to be like, hey, can you create this show, like, keeping in mind the people who like scroll on their phones while watching the show, like second screen, and that's like explaining the all the exposition dumping scenes, like if I was the Duffer Brothers or any writers for Stranger Things, I would be like, screw Netflix, we're making this our own thing because we want to appeal to the fans, not the watchers, not the viewers who don't even pay attention to the television show, and all they do is scroll TikTok while Max is dying. Winona Ryder is still a really, really good actor. And it's so annoying to see her character get pushed to the side because of a lot of other characters who take the spotlight. Like, I've been rewatching season 1, and I just realized how good of an actor Winona Ryder is. Anyways, Max, obviously, I hated the episodes without Max. Besides episode 7, because, like, I think that was my least favorite episode in season 5, besides episode 1. Like, I noticed that Max has truly grown on me. She's so, like, I don't know, I like all of Sadie Sink's characters that I've seen so far, like Ziggy in Fear Street, Max in Stranger Things. Though she does those kind of character tropes very well, and I like her. I like her acting, and she's made me care about Max so dearly. She's still a good actor. Especially when she came back to life. Or not life, like, came back from her coma. Okay, whatever. Guys, you can tell I can never do a video essay because of how disorganized everything is. I just want to get back to my roots and yap about random stuff that is fun to yap about. My water's almost done. Oh, y'all, I donated my gifted silver egg to the sticker printer, and I got a Pisces star I got a Pisces star sign, even though I wanted a science star, but maybe I could, because the Pisces star sign is, like, rarer than the science star, so maybe I could, like, beg in the Hive Hub, like, beg somebody for a science star. Maybe they want a Pisces star sign. Also, I'm not a Pisces. I'm a Gemini. Google Gemini. Oh, wait. I might make an episode on AI. Because it's really been bothering me. I hate AI. No one will convince me that AI is not destroying the planet. Because it is. Look at all the trees that it's stealing water from. Okay, it's eating the water. It's eating our water. And also, we really do not need AI. I'm sorry to break it to you. For any, like I get it if you're in business, but for any, like, creative purposes, I think AI is doing something. I think AI is taking away from your creativity instead of helping you. What do you mean you're using it to give you ideas? Come up with ideas yourself. You have a brain to do that. I'm pretty sure you were born with a brain. Why can't you use that instead of AI? Uncultured swine. Also, everyone hates AI. I hope y'all know. I hope I'm letting the corporations know that everyone hates how AI is being shoved down their throat. Anyways, good actors. Holly and Derek are really good actors. I don't know their full names of their actors, so I'm just going to say their character name. Holly and Derek, Max, Joyce, Erica I think she was there for the comedic relief, but I liked her scene. She's so sassy in a way that it's not too overwhelming. So, and she does that really well. Pariah Ferguson does that really well. Joe Keery was also a very good actor with Dustin's whole crash out. Valid crash out, by the way, Eddie. I miss him. Like, if he never died, damn, I think the show would be 10 times better. And also, do you guys remember Argyle? I think he was just there to... I think he was just there to be, like... I think he got eaten by the Demogorgons. Where did Argyle go? Obviously, Nancy and Natalia Dyer and Charlie something. I'm just going to say their character name because I do not know their... I don't know the actor's full name. Nancy and Jonathan, their scene in the little... what is it called? Like the Hawkins upside down scene where they're like crying because they think they're gonna die. Obviously, I didn't think that they were gonna die because this really didn't seem like the scene where someone would die. But it was still emotional. I still felt it deep down in my heart. I think it was a really well acted scene. Props to the actors. And also middle finger to the writers because what the fuck is an unproposal? Like that sounds so stupid. Why are they trying so hard to be corny in season 5 after a whole season where the deaths were literally people get levitated in the air and then their bones snap and their jaw cracks wide open and their eyes get sucked inside their head. Why are we being so like corny and unserious after a whole season about death and darkness? Like, I truly don't understand. I thought it was gonna get darker. That's kind of why I like season 4. It was just seeing the show mature and evolve into something that still felt like Stranger Things, but it had this sort of grand feeling to it still. And obviously there was still CGI used, and it looked very... But it didn't look like a Roblox game. It didn't look like video game cutscenes from, like, GTA 6. My water's done. Also, I've been looking... Before this, I was panicking because, as you've heard before in a prior episode of Sleepy Says, I've been looking for a beanbag that I usually use to record. It's not here. I have this scratchy stool, though. Maybe I should make ASMR. Maybe I should. That would be fun, I feel like. But let's talk about Jonathan. Okay, let's talk about the scene where people have been saying Stranger Things 5 has been complicated. What do you mean complicated? It is not complicated. It is not hard to understand at all. It literally explains everything in the exposition dumping scenes. What do you mean it's complicated? Like, I swear the people saying these are 4-year-old children with, like, like, grade, like, JK media comprehension skills. What do you mean it's hard to understand? Stranger Things was never hard to understand. It isn't. It's, like, dark but dumbed down, and even, like, I'm pretty sure it was intended to be, like, in these scenes, dumbed down so that the people watching TikTok, instead of, like, looking at their TV screen, can understand what's happening. I swear this season was written for the people who are doom scrolling while the show is happening in the background. Like, that annoys me. Ignore them. Why are you writing the show for them instead of... people who are actually watching a show. Also, I almost, it felt like today, I feel like today my neck felt like, my throat felt like it had cancer in it. Why was it so itchy and scratchy? Anyways, people were complaining that about the plot armor in the Jonathan Nancy scene where where Jonathan proposes to Nancy while they're about to die in goop. People don't understand what I immediately got this when I first watched that scene. First of all, the exotic matter is, it's like this huge ball of energy. So you'd expect it to be hot around it, right? So I guess people didn't pick that up because they were like, why did the building turn into goop? Maybe because it's melting from the exotic matter. Maybe because energy creates heat. It doesn't take a genius. Also, it only seems to melt inorganic matter for some reason. But also, why was it? So, okay, if the building was melting, why wasn't the table melting? And if the building was melting, why weren't the humans melting? That's my gripe with it. But otherwise, what do you mean? Why is it melting? So maybe because it's a ball of energy. I'm just gonna say that. Also, what's been annoying to me, what's been really obnoxious to me, was the amount of people, specifically people who support a certain ship between two males in this show. Why are they getting so mad at the coming out scene? I get that some people don't like Will. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Will. I am the biggest fan of Max. I think the coming out scene was necessary, but it felt very, very forced. It did not come off natural, especially because they're literally getting prepared to save the world, and then Will is like, wait, and then he calls everybody just to say that he's gay. And also the amount of people who support Byler, they complain about this scene for one reason, quote unquote, queer bait. I cannot say that word properly and it's pissing me off. Let me remind you about what queer bait is. For those wondering, queer bait, by definition, is the incorporation of LGBT characters or relationships in media to appeal to LGBT audiences while maintaining ambiguity about the character's sexuality. What does that mean? It means that the character's sexual orientation, they show homosexual tendencies, but does not explicitly state that they are homosexual. If you have been watching Stranger Things 1 to 4, it is so apparent and obvious that Will is gay. Therefore, also I hate using the word therefore, but there really is no other word to use. So therefore, Will is gay and Stranger Things writers are not queer baiting. I'm so confused on why, and I'm so angry. Why are I'm not gonna fall for the rage bait, but why are they bickering about Byler in the first place? The whole thing about Will getting his powers was him accepting everything about himself. This including the fact that Mike does not love Will. That was so obvious. I think you need to look deeper into like why something happens in the show, especially in season 5, because the amount of people that have been like analyzing Byler, like there are whole videos on Byler. Please stop. This was already like this was already made clear when Will got his powers. The whole point of if even if Will and Mike got together, that would completely like go against Will's arc, because Will has already accepted that Mike does not like Will that way. So why that would make no sense if Will and Mike got together. It's like, and by the way, that's not queer baiting. But otherwise, I get why people don't like the coming out scene. Personally, I think the coming out scene was beautifully acted, and also one of the most horrifying things in the entirety of the show, for being so real. But I do think it was well acted, and it is not on the actors. In my opinion, I think it's not on the actors that this season like played out how it did. Like obviously some actors in this season were not as good as say like last season or season 1. Yes, but I don't think we should be like flaming the actors. I think that we should be flaming the writers and the industry, because a lot of the dialogue in this season felt a bit off. Like, why are they making dick jokes? It feels like a 6th grader. It feels like a middle schooler wrote the script. Why are they making dick jokes? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they made a 6-7 joke in the last episode. Like, that would be corny. Like, I don't know. It just seemed, this season, all the characters seem a bit cornier to me, and that's been, like, throwing me off a bit. But, yeah, let's just, this is just me laying down my thoughts before I watched the last episode of Stranger Things. It has been the end of an era. And even if that era doesn't end well, I still liked this show. So that's a wrap. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your year, or if it's already 2026 for you, I'll see you on the other side. That's what they said in season 4 of Stranger Things. I need to stop. But yeah, this is just to show my dissatisfaction of the whole situation, like my own take on the whole situation. I think that it's kind of sad. Like, it's pathetic to see this show that has been building up for so long just to end in this slop fest. They have Netflixified this show so hard in season 5. Like, it looks like your average Netflix original show. It looks so bland. I'm kind of unsatisfied, and I'm kind of scared to see what happens in the last episode, not because of any stakes or whatever. Also, it's just me, or the stakes felt higher in season 4 than in season 5. Like, they tell you, oh, the stakes are really high in Stranger Things 5, but you never feel it. And that's what's most important. I do think the writers kind of flopped on this one. It really did. Yeah, this is kind of like a more laid back episode. Maybe next episode I've been sleeping. Maybe next episode I'll be a bit higher energy. Maybe I'll be bouncing off the walls and like, maybe I'll bring like coffee to. I wish I've seen Panera near me. Maybe I can get a death lemonade. Okay, maybe that's enough. See you guys. Hope y'all have an amazing rest of your year, or whenever you're watching this, amazing rest of your day, and the day after that, and the day after that. Let me know your opinions on this whole Stranger Things situation. I think this is not my favorite show anymore. See you guys.